time, we have running backs coach Jay Boulware. Coach Boulware, go ahead, Greg, ask a question.
Well, Coach, new to the program, how accustomed are you getting, comfortable system-wise, just being in West Virginia? How's it going?
It's going great. Very comfortable. I'm acclimated. Got a place. Got my local watering hole down, so that's all that really matters. Enjoying this ride. I enjoy the journey. That's the part I thrive on. Getting better every day. The fundamentals, the techniques, all the things that come accompanied with building a championship running back room and program.
You're kind of a clean slate. All the guys you got really don't have a lot of familiar guys. Cam does from before, but kind of a clean slate, right, with your guys?
Yeah, Cam has a little bit, having been with the Tricketts. But, yeah, I mean, it's a completely new room. I enjoy that, too. We kind of learned it all together, you know what I mean, took it step by step. There was no, this is what we did last year, this is what, everything was, hey, this is what I know, so this is what you guys are going to know. So everything was fresh, and the guys have taken to that approach pretty well, and in my mind, they've done a great job of assignment football. That's the easy part. Assignment football is the easy part. It's not what we get paid to do. We as coaches got to be great teachers and teachers of the fundamentals. Anybody can put stuff on the board and say, here's what you do. They should be doing that themselves. You go to the NFL, they give you an iPad and they tell you to learn the offense and come in the next day. But that's not coaching. Coaching is teaching these young men the fundamentals and techniques that go along with those assignments.
To Cam's, very productive back. I mean, he's the leading rusher coming back. Is there any deposits in the bank because of what he did there and what he's done over the time?
Absolutely. He's played in a game at this level, which is more than everybody else in the room can say. So, he's our experienced guy. He's our veteran. I can tell him something one time, and he pretty much gets it. So that in itself is leadership. The other guys see that, oh, okay, Cam's picking this up, and then they try to do it. So, having Cam in the room is a tremendous blessing. Glad I went out and got him a lot. It really pays off right now because everybody else in that room is new. So that's the challenge.
What's he do best, in your opinion?
He does everything well.
Yeah,
he
press
really
blocks,
does.
the whole.
He does everything well.
Yeah.
He's got great patience in the run game, great vision. He can catch the ball. He can block. He can do it all. And so his versatility is definitely in Coach Rod's offense has been a nice added dimension.
What makes you feel that he's ready to continue at his same pace in the Big 12?
I don't really know what the same pace is. You know what I mean?
Production,
Well, again, yeah, we're a little bit different than what they were last year. This is Coach Rod's offense, so I do expect obviously productivity from that position and from him. But it's a collective effort running the football here, as you guys well know, under Coach Rod. All 11 members are involved, whether you're O-line blocking or the receivers blocking on the perimeter or receivers running the ball and O-line blocking or whatever. So we all have to be good at our jobs. We have to be good at the fundamentals, blocking for us offensively as well as running.
How do you match up with Coach Trey? What's it like working with him, and how do your run game concepts match?
They match up. I do exactly what he's asking me to do. One of the reasons I think that I've had such a long, productive career is I'm a football coach. I played O-line in college. My mentor, a guy by the name of Dan Roshar, who's the O-line coach at the Bears, once told me a long time ago that, hey, if anybody ever asks you what kind of coach you are, you tell them you're not an O-line coach, you're a football coach. And he himself, he played quarterback in college. And so, that in itself has kind of helped me throughout my career do a multitude of things because I'm a football coach. I teach fundamentals. That is my strong suit. I'm I'm a fundamental teacher, and I kind of lean on that in every position I've ever coached.
Is there any more you can tell us about the rest of the room in terms of maybe other guys that you think could share that workload with him as great as he is? He can't do it.
Yeah, I love what Latimer's bringing to the table. He is conducting himself like a veteran, having an older brother that's played collegiate football, obviously played for Coach Rod at Jacksonville State as well. He is showing him how to be a pro, and in everything that he does. I'm not saying he's perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but he's definitely conducting himself like a veteran. From the work that he does in the training room. I go check on our guys in the training room in the mornings, and he's not even injured, and he's in there doing, stuff to make sure he stays healthy. So that's a veteran approach. He's here at night watching film. That's a veteran approach. And so that's really good to see from a freshman. You don't see that very often. I've had maybe one other true freshman in all my years of coaching running backs, which is a lot, conduct themselves that way and be as well-rounded as he is. And I'm pretty pleased with him right now and what he's bringing to the table.
Take us into your background a little bit. I know your playing career ended with an injury, so did that sort of spur you into coaching to stay in football? How did you get into coaching? And then you said you coach, but offensive line to running back is an unusual coaching move. So how did all this happen?
It is unusual, or is it?
It is. At least from my perception.
Well, if you listen to Andy Reid talk, I think he said long ago that if you can coach O-line, you can coach any position. Not only did I play O-line, but I coached O-line with my mentor when I was at Northern Illinois. And for 3 years, had a really good O-line there, and had running backs, a guy by the name of Michael Turner, later on Garrett Wolf. And, there were some really good players. P.J. Fleck was a wide receiver that played for us there. Thomas Hammock was a running back that played for us there. So that was my first full-time job. And, yes, my coaching career started when I was at the University of Texas. I had a career-ending arrhythmia, and just like everything that's gone on in my life, as one door closes, God has opened up another door for me. Almost simultaneously, and that was the case with football coaching. I'd never really been interested in coaching football, but my O-line coach at the time said, "Hey, you're one of my only returning lettermen, one of my only guys that got reps as a redshirt freshman, and I'd love for you to come out and help me coach." And I started doing it, and here I am today. That was in '94. That's how long ago that was, when I was still in college. So I started doing that, and the very next year we won the last Southwest Conference and as a student assistant, and then I was a GA tight end coach, and we won the first Big 12 championship. So that's where my championships in the Big 12 started, my last year at the University of Texas.
Coach, listening to you describe yourself, your approach to coaching, sounds kind of similar to the way Rick Trickett would describe himself, maybe with some different language. But given that, plus what we just heard from you about running back, offensive line, does that really help build some of the things that you all have to put together to be successful?
Absolutely. And I can't speak for Coach Rod, but I think one of the reasons why he wanted a veteran in this position is so that cohesiveness would transition really easily. He didn't want to have to worry about the running backs, the O-line. I understand what Coach Trickett is doing because I played that position, and our offices are right next to each other. So anytime he wants to share a thought or an idea with me, just, hey, stick your head over here real quick, and I'd get up and run over there because, there's a respect game from me. He's a legendary O-line coach. I understand that, being a former O-lineman. Sometimes I actually kind of jump when he's yelling because I feel like it's my old O-line coach getting on my tail a little bit. But I enjoy. I think it's a privilege to be out there with a guy like that, and putting this thing together and trying to do some of the things that we're trying to do offensively from a run game perspective as well as a protection perspective. So it's pretty easy for us that way. I know what he's doing. I've played in a lot of offenses, different styles, whether it be the Gus Malzahn offense of Auburn or Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of different offenses that I've been a part of, and so there's not much out there that I haven't done already and done at a high level.
When you're at a new school and you're going about building and connecting with your players in your room, how do you go about approaching that, being a veteran coach?
Well, I think you first have to, make sure they understand that you love them. You can coach any player as hard as you want to if they know you love them. And I think I try to impress upon them, this is what God has called me to do. God has called me to be a leader of men in my room and provide, that perspective from them. Not that I'm perfect, because I'm far from it, but I do impart upon them, what it takes to be successful in life and to try to be a good human, as well as be, linear focus, be in line with exactly what comes from the top all the way down. And so I think that in itself has really helped me as a coach. And one of the things I think people really appreciate about me being here is I spent a year in Pittsburgh working for a guy by the name of Mike Tomlin, who worked for a guy named Tony Dungy, which is where he kind of got this philosophy from. He said something one day to me at work when I was there, just an intern running back coach, and he put a little note on my desk one day, and man, when I tell you it lifted me up, I'm just telling you I was fired up. Since you've been here, you've been a rock star, building relationships in the building. I still remember it to this day. And so he got that from Dungy, where he said one day later on, I learned this, that Dungy used to sit outside and think about what can he do each day to lift people in the building up, to bring, something to them. Didn't have to always be a coach. It could be, the cafeteria people or, your administrative assistants or whoever, the trainers, the managers. So I live that life every day here. I try to pick the people up that I'm around, and I want to, try to encourage people, and I try to encourage my players every day.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you, guys.